we gonna have a good time and keep you in the know. Let all your trouble go. In the know, in the know, in the know. In the know, in the know, in the know. In the know, in the know, in the know.
Got it.
In the studio, guys.
We live in the studio, guys. Thank you for joining us in the No Radio Show. About to go live in a few minutes. Listen, every single Saturday, it is my goal to bring you incredible guests, and today is not going to disappoint. So stay tuned. Y'all gotta download the app so you can hear my song.
Is she right here?
Nope, my cousin.
Just...
This is my cousin Adrian.
Oh, that's cool. How old is she?
My cousin is 32.
Sound like a little girl. Who's that rapper?
I have my daughter on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who was that rapper? Who was that
My
rapper?
cousin, same person.
Okay.
She has an album out.
Okay.
She's real deal. Her and Mark, they work together a lot. But she's in North Carolina,
Okay.
coming to North Carolina. Shout out to Adrian, cousin. Did that in one take. Literally wrote the song in one night.
That's dope.
And sent it to me. And I'm like, she's like, well, Mark did the track. So, you know, made it a little bit easy.
I like how you talked to Councilwoman Jacoby. That was dope.
Hey, that was my baby, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is your girl, Michellita Taylor, with the In the Know Radio Show, broadcasting live from the Victory Station, AM 1360, FM 94.7, live in Jacksonville, Florida. Wherever you are tuning in, thank you so much for carving out this time on your Saturday. Listen, it's beautiful here in Jacksonville. Finally, we're getting some sunshine. Now, those allergies are trying to peak up, so I don't know about you guys, if you're struggling a little bit, but hey, we in this together on this February 1st, the first day of Black History Month. We are so excited to celebrate all things Black history, things that we have accomplished and things that we are continuing to work towards in our community and beyond. And so today on the In the Know Radio Show, as I said, every Saturday, it is my goal to bring you guests that are going to empower you, inspire you, that are going to bring you information and show you some things that you can actually plug into here in the city. And so today is nothing short of what has already been brought to you. I have two incredible giants in the city that are doing some big things in the city in the studio with me today. One of them is my big brother. The other one is my other big brother. And so with no further ado, our first guest is the maestro, the all things production, the Maurice Henderson. He is a seasoned event production specialist with over 30 years of experience in the music industry. Renowned for his expertise in audio, video, lighting, and sound, Maurice has successfully managed large-scale events and concerts featuring some of the world's most celebrated artists, including Usher, Tamala Man, Kirk Franklin, Backstreet Boys, Sierra, and the Boys to Men. Maurice has an impressive track record of delivering high-quality productions for both corporate and entertainment sectors. His notable projects include leading the audiovisual production for the Miller Electric 90th year celebration as president of Revolution Arts Sony record label. Maurice oversaw artist development for Sony Music, handling the creation of records, touring, and branding. His contributions extended to licensing music for major motion pictures like Fast and Furious, Tokyo Drift, Big Mama's House, and As Good as It Gets, generating multi-million-dollar deals. I'm trying to tell y'all, this man has done it all. Okay, he's telling me he's being really, really modest right now, but I'm all about giving people their flowers. Y'all need to know who's on this show. Okay. Maurice's career spans decades of innovation, creativity, and dedication to excellence. This is my show. In the music and event production industries. From corporate celebrations to large-scale concerts, he continues to set the standard for event production, blending technical expertise with a passion for creating memorable experiences. Mo is from Jacksonville, Florida, and remains an influential figure in the entertainment and event production community. For our first guest, give it up for Mo Henderson.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My brother.
Get used to it.
My brother.
We should never feel awkward whenever we're thinking about our life's work. People need to hear so that we can honor you. So honor you, my brother.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
I'm serious. You gotta receive that stuff. Next up is Mr. Troy McNair Sr. He is a visionary leader in the music, sports, and entertainment industries, known for his dedication to empowering young talent, fostering economic growth, and driving innovation with over 2 decades of experience. McNair has played a pivotal role in shaping the careers of artists and advancing workplace development and entrepreneurship. McNair's career began with a passion for music. Don't y'all see the trend here? Leading him to key roles at Def Jam Music Group, Rush Artist Management, and Daisy Edge. He has managed talent, produced events, and developed strategic branding campaigns, guiding emerging artists and audiences toward meaningful cultural experiences. As the co-founder and CEO of Think Bold All Access and the Think Bold Festival Conference, McNair has created transformative platforms that merge technology, entrepreneurship, and culture. These initiatives bring industry leaders together to share insights, mentor young professionals, and foster innovation, and so much more, because the guys are feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Give it up for Mr. Troy McNair.
It's a little much.
How y'all doing?
Extraordinary.
Hey, getting better every day.
Man, I'm so honored to have you guys. Listen, again, family, and just to see how you guys are really transcending your experiences and leveraging opportunities in our city that's growing so quickly in the realms of diversity, entrepreneurship, innovation, for all generations, not just those who are already business owners, but the up and coming individuals that have a goal, have a passion, they have a hobby that now we can see we're able to monetize. That's the part of my mantra this year. 2025, we're gonna thrive and monetize. You know. But Troy, tell us, where are you from originally?
So I'm originally from New Jersey, born and raised. However, my mother and father from Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
And my grandparents. So.
So you just left. You said, Duval, I'm out.
Well, my mother and father moved to Jersey.
Okay.
When I was born and raised, and then eventually they moved back. Okay. And then I decided to come back. But I used to come here every summer as a child. Okay. So I know the city very well. Okay. All sides of town.
So this is home.
Yeah, this is home. I love Jacksonville. I've always wanted to live here.
Yeah. But it's super cool though that because New Jersey, culturally, things are so different.
Yes.
And so even just looking at the bio, we're able to see how you were able to collect so many different experiences and influences and bring it here down south, which helps for that merging of things that may seem a little bit not uncomfortable, but just they're not our regular and our norm, because down south we get things so late when we think about trends and things like that. So for someone who a little bit further up north, bringing those types of ideas down here has been so significant.
Yeah, I've always loved Jacksonville. I've always wanted to live here, so I'm here.
Yeah. And Mo, you know, this is home.
This is home.
The Bangum, you know,
That's it.
do
All of that.
all the things, man. So listen, you guys are a part of, I'm going to say a movement, because although this is something that is still, it's not in its infancy, but it's 2 years old at this point, going into a three year. It is really picking up traction.
Yes.
And the people that you guys have, and referring to the Think Bold Festival, the individuals from the gate that have been coming to these events have really set the standard, and really just reminds those of us who are from Jacksonville, like myself, how many people just can really make major impact if we just get plugged in.
Right.
With the city being this big, you know, you really got to be in the know.
Yes.
You know,
Right.
like you really, because our city is a community in communities. So we're, you know, those of us who are from here, they're like, well, there's nothing to do. And it's like, no, it really is a lot to do. You just have to really get plugged in. So talk about what was the goal or the inspiration to get started with Think Bold?
You know, Mo and I, we've met 2013.
Yeah.
So we've always talked music and just talk shop, right?
Yeah.
And then one of the key things that from Mo and my advantage, working for the music industry, we used to go to all festivals and conferences and take artists. And so we were like, why isn't there not something like that similar to Jacksonville? Jacksonville is emerging, it's strong. And so we talked about it for years, and then we talked about it during COVID.
Yep.
And we worked on some music projects for some companies, and we got a mojo going. We got a vibe of how we work well together, and so we decided to put something together around that area and that time, I think it was. And then a couple years later, Think Bold.
Here we are.
Thinking bold.
What do you think can contribute it? Mo, you can tap in as well. What do you think has contributed thus far to the success? Because Jacksonville is kind of sometimes hard to till ground for new things. I mean, whether you're a breakout artist, whether you're a baker, you know, whether you're trying to open up a school, a church, you know, we're unique in that although we're large, there is a mindset that's a bit limiting and small. And so some people, they may start something, and because the outcome may not be what they think it should be the first time, they're just like, well, this ain't for me. So I need to just kind of let it go. But what do you think has contributed to the success of it thus far?
Well, I think first of all, it's just really understanding the mindset and the mindset of the city, right? If you gotta, you know, I mean, it is a kind of a hard barrier to break through, but people like what they like, and they don't what they don't. So you kind of have to understand what makes that market move. And I really do think that this market really thrives off of, you know, it's very guarded with who they let in.
Yeah.
You know, so I think understanding that is one thing, but then I think understanding the potential of where the city is going. And I think that's where Troy and I was like, okay, you know, if you look at the 10-year plan for the city, I mean, we got a Four Seasons coming up. We got a Four Seasons hotel. If you look at what's happening out east right now, it's a lot of progressive movement happening. And I think the city is really open to new ideas and new potential, but it's not for the quick fix.
Right.
So I think whenever you go into an event like this, it's more of a long game play. I don't know if I answered your question.
You did, because like you said, it I think too, it's who you're connecting with.
Yes.
It is truly who you know. And I think forging those relationships, especially when you have the idea in hand, in your mind, okay, this is something we're wanting to do. Let's connect with some people who are already really connected in the community. Let's kind of talk about what that looks like for us, and how is that something that we can, you know, really leverage to build a strong foundation, so that way whenever we do launch it, there will be a lot more buy-in, as opposed to just, oh, I have a good idea, y'all coming out, let's check it out and see what it's about. And so that's what I've seen, that you have, I mean, heavy hitters in the city. Talk about some of the people that you had come last year. Last year was incredible.
Oh, yes. Wow. We had, first of all, Miss Fawn Weaver.
Yes.
CEO, founder of Uncle Nearest Whiskey. She's hit over $1 billion valuation as a company.
I mean, as a black woman, too.
As a black woman.
In that space.
In that space, yeah. And that's a very guarded space, speaking of barriers of entry.
Yeah, so she was just amazing, and to really hear her story. And again, going back to what we both said, to be in that spirit industry, not only is it talking about black woman, just woman.
Yeah,
Right.
Period.
Yeah. That's a very challenging industry, and she's very successful in it. So we were excited about that. And then one of my favorites, Dapper Dan.
Yes. If y'all don't know Dapper Dan, he is
my gosh.
basically the founder of all things fashion, black
100%,
fashion from New
100%.
York.
Gosh.
I mean, when we talk about when a person looks good, you look dapper, like that literally comes from him.
Yeah.
And he was here in Jacksonville at this event.
Exactly.
I mean, you can't.
I mean, he's got to be the flyest guy. You know, I met Dapper Dan in the 80s, and that guy was fly with just, you know, activewear.
Yeah.
Like he matches.
Uh-huh.
His cars match his outfits.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Like Gucci
There
interior.
were one.
Oh my gosh. So he was extraordinary, but I think his extraordinary, what it came from was culture.
Yeah.
Talking about how strong we are in culture and,
Yeah.
and how our ideas grow businesses.
Yeah.
And we have to figure out how to leverage that.
Yeah.
So it's something that you were saying earlier. We got to figure out how to leverage our ideas
Yeah.
and monetize, as you just said.
Yeah. Well, now, who were some of the local heavy hitters that were there as well? I think we had.
Oh, well, we had all the city.
Yeah.
The city was there.
JTA.
JTA.
Had a huge presence there last year.
Operation, is it Operation Hope?
Operation New Hope.
New Hope.
Which gives folks opportunity, you know, if they had second chances.
Yeah.
So they were in the building. Wow, we had so many folks.
Yeah,
man.
and then shout out, I mean, Vistar, come on, Gasper, man. I mean,
The whole Vistar team.
the
right?
whole Vistar team. I mean, all of the guys that were there really just doing a kind of an introduction to, you know, getting financing for small businesses and stuff like that. Some of the stuff that they spoke on in their panel, that was great.
And you know what's crazy? This year, Vistar, so our ticket prices are very low compared to the last few years.
Okay.
That's all because of Vistar.
Wow.
Vistar is the presenting sponsor and partner this year.
Okay.
They came in heavy. Wealth Watchers came in heavy.
Yes.
So we were able to lower the
Yep.
prices, right?
And that's huge because we want people to come.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I was gonna ask about the challenges, but it sounds like that could have been one where you guys have already kind of set some parameters where that isn't an excuse,
Yeah.
not even an excuse, but just a reason why financially people aren't able to attend. And so to be thoughtful on that level really speaks to the mission of Think Bold.
And I think understanding the mindset of kind of what you were speaking to earlier, people know what they know and they know what they don't. So we don't really have a lot of think tank conferences here. We don't have a lot of symposiums. Now, corporations do a lot on their own. So Vistar have a leadership retreat, and First Baptist do a leadership retreat, so forth and so on, but a citywide thing. So I think we just wanted to introduce it into the marketplace and make it palatable. And because of Vistar coming in this year, we were able to get them ticket prices down. So small emerging businesses kind of can remove the excuse of, oh, the ticket price is a little too high, so forth and so on. What are the ticket prices this year?
They're real inexpensive.
Yeah, like-
$49.
Yeah.
Starting compared to we were at $100.
$49.
Yes.
He said $49. I was gonna say we can have them go to the link just to make sure we're not giving an amount.
Yeah,
but
no, it's $49.
$49.
It's the lowest ticket price.
Yeah.
Where before it was like $100.
Wow.
So
Okay, yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. I mean, and this is top tier. You know, people have conferences, they do their best. Because again, we have ideas and we want other people to participate in it. But this is at the Hyatt downtown.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's, you know, food trucks that are out there, the best food trucks that are out there. The conditions and, you know, just the whole setting it's charged for thinking outside of what you normally do. And that's what I felt when I first went. You could just feel the energy. Like you have an idea, you have something going, and you kind of, you know, not making it as a big deal as really what it could be. And when you're in a room with other people that have the same thought process that you do, you begin to kind of believe more in yourself, which I wanted to talk about that because some people may have an idea they're sitting on and they're just like, what? Somebody else is doing that, so there's no need for me to even consider, stepping out on something like that. How could this event really kind of cultivate and really encourage someone to maybe take that risk?
Well, listen, I think it's some brilliant speakers, some brilliant keynotes locally and nationally. Listen, if you come, you have to be inspired. Like Pinky Cole-Hayes from Baltimore, a neighborhood young lady, I don't want to call her round the way girl back in the day,
but she's an everyday. She's a true,
relatable.
Very relatable.
$100 million valuation on our company now. To hear her story, to understand that she's just like every other young lady out there who had different obstacles. And, folks like that, just being inspired and hearing their story, understanding that they're no different than any other little young lady or any young boy out there. Hearing from like a Mark Lamping. We know the Stadium of the Future.
President of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No doubt. That's amazing because all the opportunities that's going to happen for that new stadium, for the Four Seasons, how they're turning that entertainment district around. Now we have soccer. I just found out we have a women's basketball team.
That's right. That's right.
Like Jacksonville is so on fire that when you go in that room to network, to meet folks, business cards, whether you want to get in workforce or entrepreneur, the room is going to be crazy.
Yeah, and one thing, and don't kill me for announcing this or even putting it out because the ink isn't dry yet. But we do have venture capitalist firms that will be there, boots on the ground. So Troy, because you come from that space a little bit more, can you kind of speak on those opportunities that why is it important for people who have ideas to get in front of venture capitalists?
Yes, and it goes back to what you were saying earlier about there's multiple VCs that's going to be in a room, and there's going to be a lot of independent investors. And they're just looking to hear something bright, something bold, something innovative. And they're willing to work with startups.
Come on.
So we actually have this one guy that's going to speak, Jordan. He just raised like $5 to $6 million.
Yes.
And he's probably no more than 30.
Yeah, no more than 30.
Wow.
Yeah. And he has two companies that are equally close to 10 figures apiece. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's not about, I got my act together.
Yeah.
Just having the grit and wanting to be bold and innovative is the key.
Now, what does that look like? A person purchases a ticket, they come to the Think Bold Festival, then they're presented in front of these VCs, or is this like another type of session built in to the festival?
So they're going to do a fireside chat.
Okay.
Actually, they're going to give away some money on the fly.
Wow.
Just they want to hear people pitch like a Shark Tank.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, they're going to do like a Shark Tank. But no, they're just going to walk around the room. And I think it's important that folks that are wanting an opportunity just meet. Hello, hey, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
And get your 1 minute pitch ready.
Yeah, that's it right there. That elevator pitch, right?
Yeah.
And then they even take it a step further, and we talked about it on our podcast. If you're not familiar with what a pitch deck, so PITCHDECK, look it up. A pitch deck is, get your pitch deck prepared. You can go to Canva. They have tons of templates, design you, and a pitch deck is basically saying, this is my idea, this is what it's going to take to fund my idea, and this is when we should start seeing a return from your investment on my idea.
No doubt.
Yeah, and it's worth the investment. It's worth having a conversation with someone who may be in business, but just don't be afraid. I think that's the thing I really want to encourage whoever's listening. You might be sitting on something and you're like, well, I don't know how to get started. My stuff isn't together enough, but that's what Troy and Mo are saying. You don't have to have it all together. It's almost better that you don't, because I've run into that sometimes when you're too buttoned up and you're too together, you don't look pliable, you don't look teachable. And so when someone is investing or wanting to partner with you, they want to see that, okay, you're open to other ideas, you're open to critique. So it is kind of better to say, I'm going to take the risk. I don't have it all together, but here, this is what I have in my mind. So let's see how we can really make this into something.
I mean, you're right. That's how a lot of folks do look.
Yeah.
You don't want to bend a little bit. massage your opportunity, that happens.
I love that. I love that. Well, if you're just now tuning in, you're listening to the In the Know radio show with your girl, Michellita Taylor. And live in the studio, I have Troy McNair Sr. and Maurice Henderson, founders of the Think Bold All Access and Think Bold Festival. That's going to be taking place on April 11th through the 12th right here in Jacksonville, Florida. You do not want to miss it. Listen, we're going to have a quick break. But before that, I always have my guests to give me a couple of songs of inspiration or songs that they think will just be a blessing to the audience that are listening. And so Mo, our maestro, the person that does all production for all the people that you heard earlier at the top of the show, he was able to provide with us 2 songs. And one of them, I want to get right into it. It's called Don't Let Go by Ari Key. Tell us about your artist.
Yeah. Ari Key is an artist. She's been a long time artist. She actually was a background singer for Lisa McClendon.
Okay.
Years ago. She was on the House of Blues album, so she was one of the background singers for that. Okay. And her just really built this great dynamic of just writing songs together, producing songs. So about a year or 2 ago, she decided, she was like, hey, I'm gonna give it a shot. She's been on like a lot of, she does Jazz Fest New Orleans. She does a lot of like different jazz festivals around the country, but she really wanted to start putting out some music. So I hit up my guys. Me and her wrote a song, produced a song, and then I hit up Javon Hill, the Hill brothers, the MVP, and they came in and did their thing. So it's something we're really proud of. It's top 100 on the gospel charts right now. So yeah.
And it's really inspirational.
Yeah,
I was listening
and
to
it kind of fits.
It does. Even with this conference that you guys are going to be going to, that's only $49. That's the starting price. that you're going to be coming to.
And we might have a code for you by the end of the show. So just for an exclusive code
for the listeners.
For the listeners only.
All right. So listen to and enjoy this song by Ari Key, Don't Let Go. Yay! You're doing good.
Man, no shot. No.
This is so good.
Yeah, this is not our thing.
Okay. Hey, Chris, what's up?
We on live.
Yes. What's up, Chris?
Oh yeah, we need the plug. We need me.
What's up, DJ?
I ain't saying nothing crazy.
I know, right?
I told y'all live is coming to an end, y'all. I'm just saying, get the app, you're gonna get the YouTube channel, all those things. But this is so great, because a lot of people that are already established, like you two are so well established in what you've done in your professions, and just to have this level of passion to really see people manifest whatever that dream or goal is that they have. Not just manifest it, but for it to be so lucrative beyond just their life, but for generations. That's huge. I'm getting my little stuff together for the VCs. I got a couple of ideas I might need to pick.
It's really just being in the room and exposing yourself, or the folks just exposing themselves to see what's going on, because these people actually want to invest in people. Even if it's not necessarily financially, even if it's mentorship. We're constantly trying to talk to individuals just to get give us 1 minute or 30 minutes every quarter. So we can figure out what's popping, what we need to
what's
do.
Fresh, what's happening,
what's going on out there.
Yeah.
Multiple people we talk to, they're like, there's millions and millions and millions of dollars here in Jacksonville that they want to invest.
They want to invest, exactly.
We're not exposing ourselves in those spaces.
Yeah. And this is a great vehicle for that, for the person that is unsure of how do I get in the room. This is a way to kind of get in that room.
And start getting comfortable. Every time we talk to an organization or folks, they're like, Jackson has so much money.
Wow. And it's a mindset. I'm guilty. There is a limiting mindset here. It's spiritual too, I believe, where it just feels weighty, and it's like, okay, I'm comfortable. I don't need to, push through. Because when I go to DC, when I go to Atlanta, even Tampa, you can just feel like, I can do anything. I feel like I can really make this happen. When you come here, and it's just like, you have to really be intentional with being in the presence of people who have.
But I do think you have to look at where Tampa was 10, 15 years ago. Because Tampa was this.
Yeah.
15. And that's where, you know, we're trying to encourage people that get on the front side of, get on the front side. I mean, get on the front side of it, because what happens is, once the space is taken, it's taken. And it was here for us all the time.
And don't get it twisted. You know,
In a minute.
Jacksonville is already full. We actually late. So we have to figure out, because it's already, it's done.
Yeah.
It's a wrap. Like, we were one of the master plans for downtown. Just everything's done in downtown. It's finished. All the property's gone. All the waterfront is gone. That's why they started building $1 million townhouses. They got rid of the school board. All them luxury apartments.
And that was Miss Ari Key, Don't Let Go. Oh my goodness, make sure you download that song. Again, this sister is doing all the things with all the right people. And we want you to be one of those individuals that's doing all the right things with all the right people as well. And that can happen if you get plugged into the Think Bold. I call it a movement. I really do. I think it's a movement. It's transformative mentally, physically, and definitely financially if you leverage your opportunity correctly. And so again, live in the studio, I have Troy McNair Sr. and Maurice Henderson, the founders of Think Bold. And during the break, we were just talking about really that, just a mindset shift that a person has to have, especially when you're in a city, you've been, you know, in the city for a while. Again, you may have had an idea, but it just doesn't seem like it's producing what you think it should. And so we immediately may gravitate and think about other cities that are booming, especially for African Americans that are being seemingly so much more successful there as opposed to here. But like you were saying, Mo, all of those cities, they started somewhere like this too. And so there was, you know, a transformation that happened, that they saw the potential of what it could be before it became that, and the importance of getting involved early.
That's it. That's the key.
That's
where the opportunity lives. You know, that's where it's affordable, right? Because you do have the people who specialize in coming into emerging markets and kind of monopolizing it. So as natives of our county, Duval, right? There, you have to get on the opportunity. You have to get plugged in before, because I mean, real estate is real estate.
Right.
Opportunity is opportunity, and if you don't take it, you know, the people who, you know, people who are selling the land, people who are selling the buildings, they're looking to offload it, so they really don't care who buys it. So at the end of the day, really capitalizing on the opportunity that's here, because in about 5 years, we'll be where Tampa is at right now.
Wow.
And then probably after that, you know, so forth and so on to the Atlanta sizes and so forth and so on.
Yeah, we're growing.
And then living in a city that's so diverse, I mean, there's so much opportunity in terms of being able to connect with people of different walks of life, which does really force us to broaden our scope of thinking when we're talking about a product or a service. Talk about the types of businesses that you've seen kind of grow in our city, and the different types of what is the word that I wanted? Different industries that you have seen grow in our city. Just in case someone listening, they say, I'm in the music industry or I'm in the beauty industry. This is something right now that is really booming. This may be my opportunity.
Yeah, well, you know, we've been in a couple meetings just recently. Our mayor, Andre Wallace, Jacks USA. There's so many different organizations that our focus here is tech and innovation.
Yeah.
And they're bringing major companies in our city, and we're growing light speed. Yeah. Now, from the outside looking in, it might look like it's taking some time, but we're truly, truly growing. You know, for example, you know, going back to when I was a child, I would come here every summer, right? Yeah. I mean, you used to get buy a house in Jacksonville for like $50,000.
$50,000.
Right.
That's right.
Facts.
What days? Those days will never see
over,
again.
right?
I think my parents' first house off of Berry Drive was $30,000.
Wow.
Yeah, that was like maybe 60, late 60s, early 70s.
Wow.
So, and then we were talking about, downtown is moving slow, yada, yada, yada. And we sat back, Now they got apartment complexes.
Yeah.
Now, but guess what? $2,500, $3,000 for apartment.
1 2-bedroom.
We got $1 million townhouses being on the water now.
On the courthouse even as well. Yeah.
You know, so like there is so much happening right under our nose that we have to get more involved. We got to be more intentional.
Yeah.
Because industry here in the city of Jacksonville, restaurants. I mean, back in the day, you would be like, oh, there's no restaurants. There's every type of restaurant in the city of Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Authentic restaurants, major company-ran restaurants, rooftop bar restaurants.
Yeah.
We have mixologists now.
Right.
Like, we are like any major city. Like, you know, I think it was 32 teams, 33 football teams. We have an NFL team, y'all.
Man.
That should tell you all you need to know.
Yeah.
We're 32 cities has teams, and we're one of them.
Wow.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Look at the town center. Yeah. We have Bentley dealerships, Rolls Royce dealerships.
Right.
Like, this should be telling you that the city is on fire.
Yeah.
And we got to get out of our comfort zone and see it.
And I think that's the key word, that comfort zone, getting out of the familiarity of your own little, you know, bubble, so to speak. But again, this isn't for everybody. So we can say that too. This is for the person who is an innovator. This is for the person that, you know, you may be an entrepreneur or you just may be, you know, head of a corporation and you're just looking to see what can I do to maximize my influence, maximize our potential, in coordination with how our country is moving forward. So when you're talking about technology, I know for me, I'm not a techie person. Well, I gotta stop saying that. I used to say I'm not a techie person. Anytime I have to do something on my laptop or my phone or something that just seems to take a couple of extra steps, I would immediately ask somebody for help. But lately, I have been more courageous and giving myself more of an opportunity to say, we're going to figure this out step by step. And so for those of us who we know that technology and innovation, you can't run from it. It's now. Like, you have to embrace it. You can't be afraid of it. You know, you might have to take a couple of courses. You might have to do a little bit of shadowing. Even in the church sector, you know, how church services have evolved online and live, things like that. How can a person really kind of embrace that nuance of technology in a day like right now?
You to tell me.
I mean, like you said, I mean, you just can't, you know, you can't be afraid of it, right? But I think the greatest resource we all have at our fingertips is YouTube University.
Oh, come on.
So, you know, and I think that kind of brings the barrier of entry down, so it makes it not so intimidating because, you know, you find somebody on YouTube who solved the problem that you're dealing with.
Right.
So I think as you start pulling back those layers, you're kind of like, oh, okay, this app is cool. I can do this with that. Yeah. And I mean, that's really how you embrace kind of getting out of your comfort zone because, you know, I'm a Gen Xer. Yeah. Most Gen Xer. Now I'm on the nerdy side of Gen X, so I love technology. But most Gen Xers and proceeding back boomers and so forth. So I just always want to say that because my kids always like them boomers. but nevertheless, you know, you kind of find your point of entry, and then you can find things to help simplify your life, right? So now you have, you know, some of the resources that you can kind of, you know, if you need to create a PowerPoint or need to create a presentation versus spending 8 hours trying to figure out the perfect presentation, you can go on to, you know, certain resources and just kind of be like, oh, okay, I need help with this. Boom. 60 seconds later, you got an outline, which you condensed your 8 hours down to probably about an hour. I mean, that gives you 7 hours to be more productive and go create more finance.
There you go. You go.
So when you start looking at it through that lens, you kind of like, okay, I got to embrace it because it's simplifying my life. It's making me more productive.
Yeah. And that is the change that we have to embrace. What have been some of the challenges with this event in reflection over the last couple of years? What would you say are some of the challenges? And I know one of them you guys have been able to kind of remedy with the price, but what were some of the other ones?
I think the major one, especially day one, people didn't understand what the heck.
Yes, exactly. 100%.
What is Thinkball?
100,000%.
Like, y'all tripping.
Exactly.
If this wasn't I don't want to say anything, but like a vodka fest, music, party fest.
No, you're right. We want to party.
Yeah. So that was a huge challenge, and then there was something in the city that fumbled, and so a lot of times folks wanted to put us, okay, you guys are like that. And we're like, no, we're not like that.
We're notorious for that.
Yeah, so that was the challenge because that particular festival, for lack of a better word, fumbled. You know, they were measuring us.
Right.
And so, you know, year one was very challenging. Obviously, price and you know, we had Earn Your Leisure.
It was hard to fit the game at the time.
But I think that was the biggest thing. And then we started getting our mojo, trying to be able to pitch it a little better. You know, it goes back to what you said earlier. You know, we were mumbling and jumbling, and then we finally got to
got to refine it, really get that branding kind of clean. But it evolves, which is what it seems like kind of happened.
And you have to be patient.
Yeah.
And you have to understand, because you said the road was this way, you might have to make a little turn here. Turn there.
The art of the pivot, right?
Man.
You gotta be willing to pivot.
Man.
Because your market will kind of tell you where you fit. Like you have an idea and you think it fits in a certain space, but the market will say, well, great idea, but you might be better served over here or over there. So not being so headstrong on where you think you fit to not be willing to pivot.
And then the other thing is, these clowns might take our money and go out of business 2 days later.
Right.
You know, so you deal with that.
Yeah.
But I think as the years continue to go, I think organizations, companies, folks are saying, okay, we see they're here for the long term. We see they're being very sustainable. We see that they're scaling, but we see that they're moving. They're patient.
Yeah.
You know, not trying to go overnight. You know, because we get a bunch of people, y'all should do this.
Y'all
not doing this.
Yes.
And then we go broke.
Right. And y'all gone.
And then we go.
And the should do people gone.
Right.
Should do people. I like that.
That was good. I use that one.
But that's so, I love this because all I can think about, it speaks to the resiliency of a business owner. Like this event truly is modeling what an entrepreneur has to kind of walk through in terms of pivoting, in terms of editing, in terms of bringing new ideas on board, and not to say, oh, we failed, now I have to get help. No, that's business. That's partnership and even vulnerability to a sense, because when you do bring so many years of experience, I mean, you look at your logs of all the things you've done, you know, one would say, well, you should know what to do. But like you said, the market will kind of tell you, no, that's not it anymore. It was it yesterday, but tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So how does an entrepreneur kind of keep up with that? Like, what do you think is, you said grit. So that is something that is definitely necessary, because I do think some people, they know really for a long time that they should be entrepreneurs, but they get stuck in that pit of like, oh, it's just not working. It's not for me. Let me go back to this 9-to-5 job. But they're sitting miserable on that job, knowing that they have something bigger on the inside. What are some of those things that they should be pulling on to keep up with that resiliency?
I think for me, the most important thing is to be comfortable of failing.
Yeah.
Be comfortable of crashing. Be comfortable of everybody saying, you tripping, I'm not, that idea is whack. You have to be your own cheerleader.
Yeah.
You know, you have to kiss yourself.
Yeah.
You know, those are the most important things in my opinion, because if you rely on somebody else cheerleading you and pumping you up, it's not gonna work.
Not gonna work.
So and just be comfortable of failing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so funny you say that, because I remember that first year during Think Bold. I think it was the owner of Brackish that said it. JD. And I think he said it, fail on purpose. Just to kind of get used to what it feels like. So that way you won't be afraid of it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to happen whenever you're trying to break into new territory. That will kind of just make you condition, not to say you're a failure.
Yeah.
You know, you work hard at whatever that venture is, but when it doesn't work out, it's like, okay, well, we'll just try something else. You know.
And that's what you got to do.
Yeah, a good mutual friend of Troy and I. Right when he's a pretty successful, well, not pretty, he's a very successful business guy in his own right. But when we first started Think Bold, you know, we were just having shop talk, and you know, I was like, man, I ain't been sleeping that good. I'm kind of nervous, kind of anxious. He was like, brother, you might as well go ahead and get used to that. He said, that's just gonna be a part of your life from here on out.
Man.
So the key is not becoming used to being uncomfortable, but becoming used to being uncomfortable, because as you're being an entrepreneur, you're somewhat charting new territory.
Yeah.
Now there's two phases of innovation and entrepreneurship. You get the one phase of, you know, you see a need, you meet a need. That's one phase, and that's pretty much a very, very easy course to trek. Mm-hmm. But when you kind of trek in the course of, this hasn't been done before, right. Nobody might not get it. Yeah. That's kind of that, okay, you just got to trust. You got to have that grit, as Troy spoke about. You got to trust that inner voice, that you are doing what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
And that's kind of when you have to put blinders on. And one thing I always respect Troy about, you know, sometimes, because I watch the market. I'm a very, this is on trend. That's not on trend. But what balances our partnership real cool is the fact Troy be like, nah, that don't fit. That doesn't fit within the end goal. So I'm able to be a little all over the place creative, because I know I got somebody, you know, somewhat in the pilot seat that's saying, okay, yeah, this is gonna get us to our destination. Okay, we can curve a little bit here, curve a little bit there. And that's why I think even in building your companies, you gotta surround yourself with people, you know, who help balance your weakness, who cover your blind spots.
Yeah. And having that clarity of vision, I mean, that's so important, because it almost seems like we contradicted what we just said in terms of, the market's doing this, so we got to pivot. But there is a larger goal.
Yes.
And within it, there's some pivoting that may occur.
Yes.
But the goal and the vision
is what it is.
Hasn't changed.
It is what it is.
How we get there may change.
100%.
But what we're trying to accomplish doesn't. And
don't let anyone distract you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, how did you say that term? I really liked it.
Like, the should-haves.
They're gonna tell you how to do it, what to do, when to do it, how much to do it for.
And they not doing nothing.
Yeah. That's it. Boy.
Those are the people.
That's a fact.
They not doing it. No, you do it. Nah, bro, you need to do this.
You know,
how about I know?
100%.
I love that. It is truly walking by faith. You know, as believers, we make sure, we should be making sure, you know, that we're checking in and making sure this is something that God wants us to do, because His provision is going to be there.
That's right.
But it is still faith, which we see all through the Bible.
Yeah.
Anyone who did anything great, you know, went through those seasons of uncertainty, and they couldn't see it, but they had to trust that whatever that end goal was, I'm going to get there.
Right.
Even though I may not get there in the way that I think I'm going to get there. So this is so good.
You know, I'm glad you said that, because we still go through those emotions and those things, but that was our first year.
Yeah.
Our first year, things could have collapsed. And not talking about necessarily Think Bold, but just our company as a whole, because again, we had some challenges.
Speak about the game plan. Tell us about game plan. I didn't even talk about that.
Yeah. So, game planning is so funny.
I'll let you take that one.
So, you know, Mo's creative. Creative juices go everywhere. So, Game Plan Management Group, we're really an event management company and a branding company. And so Think Bold is an event that we produce. Right? But it's so funny. We're trustees at the Jacksonville Chamber. And we were in the elevator with these older women. And she said, so what's the name of your company, sir? I said, Game Plan Management Group. Those ladies gave me such a look.
That look. Oh, I'm sorry, what?
And from that point on, Mo and I have been going back. So I think we did a DVA Generation Media Group. Because Game Plan is really the bridge to take you from land to the... So our whole thought process creatively We're going to take you from one point to another.
Yeah.
But sometimes it doesn't translate.
Yeah, in modern day English. Now, if you go back and watch old black and white movies, they used to talk about gangplanks all the time.
Yeah.
The gangplank and so forth. But it is literally just taking you from one destination to another.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that.
You know, so we're an event management company and branding company. And we've been able to help companies brand themselves. And based off of our relationship and our background, we actually brand companies like recording artists or movies. So, say Company A will act like they're a recording artist.
Yes, exactly.
And we try to figure out, well, this is what we would do to take an artist platinum or to hit the billboards or to get a Grammy. And take that same concept and use it for this company on how
to engage the marketplace for them.
Which is such a beautiful merging of again, you guys' history in music and how you were able to leverage that for business. And then again, now it being that event. And this is right here in Jacksonville. Gangplank is how old now? About 5?
This was about 3-4 years.
2019? I don't know.
So 6 years.
It was right after COVID, right?
Right after COVID.
After, so 5 years. We'll say 5. COVID was 2020. So 5 years of its inception right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Black owned. Okay, black owned.
And we are out east now. We moved our offices out east.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yes.
So we were in the heart of downtown. But we was like, nah, we saw it's forecasting, right? Yeah. We saw how the city, how the development was going. So we was like, we need to be a part of, and then we have a heart for, which is another topic for another day, but really our heart for educating and helping youth find their purpose in life.
Yeah.
You know what? Since you said that,
I said it.
Come on.
Go speak on it.
So we actually have, during Think Bold, there's a whole nother hub for students.
Come on.
It's called Think Bold Access, and those students will go on there, at least 100 students, and they will run an entertainment company. So the whole program is to be a student-ran entertainment company from
music production to styling to photography to if you're interested in law, some entry level stuff from that standpoint. But we try to focus on careers that don't require a college degree. We love traditional education. Don't get me wrong. We always want to salute that. But there is a sector of kids that's just not their future.
Yeah. And one of our concerns, even us doing that, was looking at young men and young ladies who, they're impressionable on pop culture music, hip hop music, right? Especially here, this drill music and all that. So our goal is to kind of figure out initiatives, which we founded, we believe, student-ran entertainment company that we're doing, to disrupt that pipeline to prison.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially these young cats. They're getting jammed up. They're hearing music. And if you're hearing this music all day,
it's mindset, right?
It is.
What you put in is what you get out.
That's right.
So that's one of our real goals with Think Bold All Access, and we're trying to, even I reached out to the sheriff's department to see if we could put some initiatives together. Just so it's not always about Think Bold, the conference. We try to do different things in the community.
I was going to say, you guys do things throughout the year. So this is a snapshot of, again, I call it a movement and a culture, because throughout the year, you guys are doing different mixers, functions, you're doing pitches, you're doing competitions and awards. So there's so many different things that are made available. And so if you want to sponsor a student for Think Bold, $79, okay? This will be great, especially during this time of the year, February. This is a great time because speaking about diversity and the people that actually attend the event, what would you say is kind of the numbers or the percentage in terms of demographics? So
you think about mid-20s to 40s. Obviously, they're still a little up and a little down. And then again, the students are junior, high school.
Juniors and up.
Freshman, college type age. And it's just a mix.
It's a mix. It's so diverse. It's where you want to be.
And even speaking on that, for those of you who's interested, is that right phonetically? I'm sitting here with a speech pathologist. I better say it right.
I noticed that.
She's a speech pathologist all day.
But I got something to say.
go to www.thinkboldfest.com, and that's the website. It has all of the information. Follow all of the socials. Think Bold Fest, Think Bold Festival, and tap in. I mean, because at the end of the day, you know, I know we are giving you a lot of information, but it's all on the website, and you can kind of do your due diligence and see what it's all about.
But you know what?
What?
Speaking about what you just said. Oh, and then we got Lil Duval.
Yeah, we got Lil Duval.
Yeah, that's right.
We got Lil Duval.
He's going to be in the building.
Yes.
And
what a lot of people don't know about him is the fact that he is a pilot.
He's a pilot.
Like, he flies.
He has his own plane.
He has his own plane.
Yeah.
He flies his own plane.
That's crazy. Brett Barish,
Yep,
that's
yep.
the guy who made, he actually made Touche in Ace of Spades for Jay-Z.
Right. That's right.
So he does the Bel Air and all that, yada, yada, yada. But, and this is what I'm going to lead into, you know, ViStar has been kind enough to partner with us again and sponsor where we're going to have the first annual Think Bold Honors.
That's right.
Yes.
And Mont Blanc,
That's right.
the writing instrument company, they're actually doing the awards, and they're doing a customized Think Bold Mont Blanc writing instrument for each honorees.
Wow.
Yes.
So that's going to be really
That's going to be amazing. I mean, and
that's a week before Think Bold.
yeah, it's on the 3rd.
Okay.
The 3rd.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, listen, those of you who have been listening into this broadcast, hopefully you have been empowered on this first day of Black History Month to know that there are some resources that are right here that are really going to elevate and that are going to really empower you to take your business off the shelf and into the community and really get in front of people and rub shoulders with individuals that can really help you to take your life to the next level. We thank Mo, we thank Troy, we thank Bo for coming today.
We thank you.
Man, so we know we can go to the website for the festival. How can people keep up with you guys? Because y'all are always doing things too.
Yeah. Hit the website, but we do have a really cool, we are getting into wellness and fitness.
Yeah.
And we definitely, I mean, we have a real cool mixer coming up for people who just want to be a part.
Yeah.
What's the name of the fitness center?
Koji?
Koji.
Come on, shout out to Chris.
Chris Courtney. We got to shout him out. Yeah.
The Boutique Fitness.
Yes.
We got a mixer there.
Incredible.
We are doing
jam.
a Bold Fit mixer there. It's on a Saturday and the 22nd
on
of
the
February.
22nd, okay.
Y'all tap in with that. That is going to be
That place
fun.
looks fly.
It's a
dope-
boutique fitness place.
dope
It's
spot.
working out on a whole nother level.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Chris is a beast.
Yes.
So we're really proud of him for that initiative. So tap in. I mean, hit our socials. I mean, once you tap into that website, at the bottom of the website, you can subscribe. You're gonna get hit with 2-3 newsletters a week. And that's what we do. We do that well.
You know what's crazy? I think we found another MC
Oh,
for
100%.
Think Bold Honors.
100%.
So we'll talk about that
100%.
offline.
She's ready. She's ready.
She's ready.
So the event is a Think Bold Health and Wellness event taking place on Saturday, February 22nd from 12 to 3 p.m. Fruit and water will be provided. We want you to make sure that you stay hydrated. But this is our Bold Fit at Koji Fit Club. It is located at 2624 Atlantic Boulevard, Suite 4. Listen, Chris will get you fit.
Yes.
Their team is incredible. Aesthetically, I mean, you will feel motivated. Some of those gyms, the environment is a little bit intimidating. So you don't want to really go in there. But this one here, especially ladies, you know how we are. We're a little self-conscious. This is the gym that you want to be at. And what a wonderful opportunity to be able to
100%.
plug in with the Think Bold movement. But thank y'all so much
No, thank you for
coming on to the, will y'all come back?
Absolutely.
Because the event is in April, so we'll try to have you guys come back
That'd be
on
amazing.
a little bit closer so they can get some more information. But always, thank you guys for tuning into the In the Know radio show with your girl, Michellita Taylor. You can keep up with me by going to my website at www.tailormadevoices.com, or you can find me on Facebook. That's Michellita, Michellita.
I love
10
it.
letters, y'all. It ain't that many of us out there, Taylor, to find all the things that I have going on as well. But hey, if you don't have the app, I'm going to keep saying this because we're not going to be going live much longer. Get the Victory Station app. You can find it on your Apple Store. You know, the Android people, good luck. But it's out there for you. I got a thumbs down from the producer. But thank you guys. Enjoy this February 1st and have an incredible day. We'll see you in 2 weeks. I won't be here next week, but in 2 weeks, we'll be back right here live at the Victory Station. Have an incredible Saturday.
Wow.
Yay!
This is amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all for watching. Look here. Can we be grateful for these people? Yeah. We can be making money. We can have a conversation, okay? Bye, guys.
This is a place to be. Turn your radio station to Victory. Where the Spirit of the Lord is liberty. Tune in to the station that will set you free. We going up right now. Please tune in. Don't touch that dial. We so blessed and you want to know how. Not talking. We just living out loud.